Recently, a porn star by the name of Christy Mack was beaten to the point where she had to go to the hospital to get treated for her injuries. The beating was so severe and so brutal that she made national headlines.
Riddle me this, Anna. How badly do you have to beat a man before it becomes a 20-word column in a local newspaper? You pretty much have to murder him in broad daylight with an object that's never been used in a murder before. Try it, Anna. Kill a man with a pencil sharpener. See if you even get arrested for it.
And she released a statement about it, and she blamed the beating on someone that she used to date.
She blamed the beating? He clearly did it, Anna. Obviously. You shameless, victim-blaming, wife-beater apologist.
Someone who goes by the name of War Machine, who is an MMA fighter.
That would explain the severity of the injuries. And it might also shed some light on his mental condition. Do you know what concussions are, Anna? Because I think you may have been born with one.
Now, more information is coming out about what occurred that night, how it happened, and also some of the beliefs that the War Machine had.
Oh, Anna. You and your team may be revealing a great deal more than you ever thought you were capable of revealing about the beliefs of the War Machine. Yours sincerely, the old Armenians.
When he was incarcerated previously in 2010.
Yes, Anna, let's explore the thoughts of a professional fighter locked in a box. A criminally dangerous and possibly highly concussed cage fighter locked in a cage. That will give us all a timely and relatable insight into our current zeitgeist and into the general state of the male condition. Right?
Apparently, when he was behind bars, he had a prison blog where he shared his thoughts on male and female gender roles and how women basically destroy relationships.
That, Anna, was your first blatant and irredeemable lie. You're about to read statements that explicitly declare the American legislative and judicial systems as the oppressors, as the destroyers of relationships. He cites American society as the villain. The very same villain that you will claim is somehow oppressing you by forcing you to wear all that fucking makeup. But when someone suggests that this system might not actually be a barrel of laughs for men either, the very idea of such an absurdity, Anna, heaves itself around the obstacle course of fanny batter slip and slides in your mind and then falls to earth like Private fucking Pyle's last dump after he shot himself in the mouth. And all you can hear is women basically destroy relationships. Anything can go in one ear. Anna, fucking anything. It doesn't matter, because the only thing that will come out the other ear is, he hates women. Look how hard everything is for women because everyone hates us. Me. I really hope the rest of your video doesn't plunge hilariously headlong into an oblivious projection of this very childishness, don't you? I really hope you're not about to produce the most embarrassing excuse for journalism ever seen by someone who didn't immediately rip their fucking eyes out.
And deserve consequences for it. So let me give you a few examples of what he wrote. There's one guy in here, referring to prison, for slapping his wife, one here for yelling at his wife, and one here for beating some guy's ass that disrespected his wife. What the fuck? If your wife is being a bitch, you can't slap her. If your wife is yelling at you, God forbid you yell back. And if some asshole hurts your wife, you cannot protect her.
Yes, Anna. A man in prison for assault happens to believe in violence against both genders. Where the hell did you find this story, guys? Someone call a fucking exorcist!
Next thing you know, it will be illegal to fuck your wife. Laughing my ass off, maybe then men in this country will get the fucking hint and move. This country forces you to be a bitch, and then you go to jail.
No comment.
Okay, it sounds a little un-American to me.
Whose voice is that? I didn't realize you had Bill O'Reilly on the fucking show.
So, a lot of people defended this guy.
Yeah, because a lot of people heard of this guy. Because people like you had nothing better to do than turn it into a news story. Thousands of people have heard this story, and there are a lot of fucking weirdos out there. If you tell 100,000 people the story of a guy who fucked a pregnant donkey, at least 5 of those people will say he was right to do that. And that can seem like a lot of people when we're talking about double donkey fetus rape.
Like, oh no, yeah, you don't know.
Oh yeah, you don't know. Is that argument off the table now, Cenk? Awesome. So we can go ahead and discard the whole racism card, can we? When it's an anti-racism argument, oh yeah, you don't know, seems to hold quite a lot of weight. So I hope you're about to give a good argument to it, Cenk. I hope what you're about to say is a reasonable and adult approach to any given argument.
What are you talking about? Look at this. Listen to this guy, right? So now he has an extreme example about somebody yelling at their wife and going to jail. I don't believe a word this guy says anyway. I don't know what that is. And is it possible? I guess it's remotely possible if it was terroristic threats, right? So if he said, I'm going to kill you, and here's how I'm going to kill you, right?
In the space of one brain fart, you got from, what the fuck, this is a bullshit, all the way to, I can actually see how that can happen, to a man and only a man. Everything out of your useless fat face is derp, Cenk. Pints and pints of derp in a deep puce tone, Cenk. Nothing but fucking derp.
But in reality, no, you go to jail usually for assault, right? For domestic violence, if you actually hit someone.
Unless you're a woman. You can punch a child all day, every day, and not even get a slap on the wrist if you happen to be a woman. I am now way beyond the realm of this war machine dude now. See, I can easily avoid his knuckle-headed and possibly brain-damaged ravings because I am inexorably drawn to yours, Cenk, and the compacted, toxic slew of derp that dribbles and speckles from your stupid cunt mouth.
And here he's saying in the blog, like, what? You can't slap your woman around? You're going to go to jail for that? Yes, you go to jail for slapping anyone around.
Right.
Unless you're a woman, you stupid fucking ball scab.
It's called assault, right?
Yeah.
Except when a woman does it, then it's called self-defense. Or disciplining your child for the 15th time today.
And he's basically saying here, what? I'm not allowed to kick people's ass? Yes, idiot, you're not allowed to kick people's ass.
Got it? Don't hit people. Don't kick people's asses, okay? Don't do what I'm doing. This thing I'm doing to you constantly, I better not catch you doing that to anyone else, or... Are you listening? I'll smack the shit out of you. Understand? You should fill your every waking moment with something other than the shit I constantly do to you and get away with every time. Got it? Oh, they're stressed, you see? Mothers can't help hitting their sons. They're stressed. Awesome, so I can hit people when I'm stressed. Is that right? No, Cenk, I go to fucking jail if I hit anyone, let alone a fucking child, stressed or not. I like it that way. I hope I go to jail if I hit a defenseless child so much as once, because that would be me becoming an unspeakable shit of a person. Anna, my darling, if you could be so kind as to tell all the single mothers out there what someone really needs to tell them.
Yeah. The use of violence in any circumstance, even if you are a victim of violence, responding to it with violence, unless it's a case where you genuinely need to defend yourself, is not the answer, okay? For anyone who thinks that's the right way of handling the situation, you are wrong. This is not a healthy mentality. This is not the way you respond to any type of situation.
Feel free to give me a standing ovation, folks. I just engineered a parallel universe in which Anna Kasparian said something that wasn't sanctimonious air-headed bilge.
Now, he feels as though the real problem in the country is that men are being oppressed, and he writes that in his blog. He says, the oppression of men is worse than the oppression of Jews in Nazi Germany, worse than the slavery of blacks in early America. I'm not exaggerating either.
I do not agree with those statements, nor do I have to hand the opinions of anyone within the relevant demographics who might shed light on it.
And this part I fucking love. Every Jew and every black man, both in jail and those who have managed to avoid it, will attest to what I have just written.
Well, I've still got nothing. What do you guys got?
No, they won't.
Bill's back!
They won't attest to that at all.
How insulting are you?
On a scale of 1 to 1?
To the Jewish community and the black community to claim that the so-called oppression of men in America is comparable to what they went through. Are you fucking out of your mind?
Yes, he is, Anna. He has been punched in the head hundreds of fucking times by professional fighters. He said those things while in prison for assault. Those are indeed the words of someone officially out of their fucking mind, Anna. And if your next sentence is in two forcibly married halves, taking any defense of that fucking troglodyte's actions and categorically equating it to any general claim that men are getting fucked over in America, perhaps a teeny tiny bit more than women are, then you might officially be the most simultaneously vapid yet evil troll on the internet so far. It's your moment in the spotlight, Anna. What do you have to say?
And for those of you who are defending him and saying, like, yeah, us men, we're totally being fucked over in this country.
Keep on trucking, Anna. You are actually making history here. What do you have to say to the millions of men in your country whose children are missing, whose genitals are mutilated, whose due course is eroded, as is their sodomized body in prison? When those men look around them and say, how come the government only stops this from happening to women? Will you make some attempt to address those issues like a fucking journalist, Anna? Or will you say, oh yeah, well, look what happened to this one woman. Look at it. Look at it for the next 40 seconds of my insightful, considerate, compassionate, totally in no way scaremongery, Pulitzer Prize winning social fucking insight.
All right, this is the guy who did the following to Christy Mack. She had 18 broken bones around her eyes, a broken nose, missing teeth, fractured ribs, severely ruptured liver, lesions from the knife pressed into her skin. You know how she escaped? She escaped when he went to the kitchen to get a sharper knife. She went out through the back door and started looking for a neighbor that would answer the door and take her to the hospital immediately. Finally, someone opened the door and took her to the hospital. This guy was on the run for a week straight, and cops finally found him hiding in a hotel. If he was so innocent and if he didn't do anything wrong, why the hell was he hiding? Yeah. What a piece of shit. Fuck this guy.
This is your cue, Bill. We're doing it live. Show those hysterical scaremongers at Fox what a real news reporter does.
So he's saying me breaking my girlfriend's bones, and he cut all of her hair off. That's why you saw her hair was cut with a dull knife. And he goes to get the sharper knife, as Anna said. And me breaking all her bones and rupturing her liver, etc., and going to jail for that is like 6 million Jews being killed by the Nazis.
It's amazing.
The millions of African Americans who were enslaved for, decades, centuries here.
This is news, folks. What's this? A man repeated something stupid he heard in prison. 4 years later, he severely beat a woman. Severely. I mean, really fucking severely. Check out how severely. It's totally what everyone needs to focus on now. How severely this woman was beaten, okay? Because he did that because of the stupid thing he said 4 years ago. So fuck men's rights. Alrighty? Fuck anyone who speaks out against the actual legal disparities in human rights faced by men and men alone. Fuck them all, Cenk. Because of the stupid thing this very damaged individual said 4 years before severely beating a woman. Did I tell you how severe it was? I was fucking...
In the US. Right.
I heard that, Anna. And I should tell you, I intend to change the popular meaning of the verb to lynch. To me, it means ruthlessly and pointlessly shitting onto a film strip. And you guys are the best lynchers I've seen since Lynch.
It's worse. I can't believe I had to go to jail just because I nearly killed my ex-girlfriend and I broke, dozens of bones in her body. What? How oppressed am I?
He didn't say that, Cenk. He didn't say any of this. You're just very, very disturbingly obsessed with the massacred cadavers of real-life women. And you're actually real, Cenk. You're the kind of character I'd come up with, but you're real. Now, Cenk, it's your time to shine. Let the audience in on the big twist. Tell them all in your finest and most succinct English what it is you, the young Turks, are clearly and plainly and blatantly doing in this fucking video.
But I mean, isn't that perfect? Like, that's the victim ideology. The same people who say to others, oh, you guys have a victim ideology, actually consider themselves the biggest victims of all. Like, boo-hoo me.
Cenk, you can't possibly ever know this, but you're a fucking genius.
What, I can't just assault everybody and stab them and try to kill them? What? Oh, now you gotta put me in jail for that. I'm the victim.
It's a good thing nobody said any of those things, Cenk. Nobody except you. You out-of-control freak show of a pillock.
No. I'm pretty sure based on those pictures and the medical reports that she was the victim of you and your barbaric assault on her.
Yes, Cenk, that's why she's the lead character in the story. That's why she's all Anna talked about for the first 17 seconds of the video. You found a story about a woman who was victimized. And we all know that's your favorite kind of story, young Turks. I really hope everyone can spot what I'm leading up to here. But the thing about this story that shot it to the tip of your priorities was that the perpetrator of this crime said something in prison 4 years previously that sounded a teeny bit men's rightsy. So this isn't just a victimized woman. This is a fucking ultra megazord victim. Look at the bruises!
So, are we surprised from a guy who renamed himself the War Machine?
Yes, Cenk, you are surprised enough to do a fucking news item about it. Or did you forget how news works? Or did I forget how the fucking Young Turks works?
Right? And so that could be a cute little thing that you do in professional wrestling, and if it's fake and stuff like that. But it's obvious from his writing that he thinks that this is a perfectly acceptable thing to do.
No, it isn't, you flaming spastic fascist. Read the statements you just put up on your own fucking show. The worst thing he advocated doing to a woman without going to prison for it is slapping her for being a bitch. I'd say he's fully aware that it's not right to severely injure women, largely because he's openly willing to beat some guy's ass just for disrespecting a woman. But you're not arguing against that little passage, are you, Cenk? Far from it. That's chivalry. That's your fucking religion. The very image I just conjured in your mind of you beating the shit out of another man to get some pussy. It's giving you a semi, isn't it, Cenk? They said you're not going to beat anyone's ass anytime soon because you're a pudgy fucker who can't even punch his own cock into a semi. Well, War Machine is a lot like you, Cenk, except one day he snapped and started treating women the same way he has always treated men. The way you have always dreamed of treating men, you shit-foaming, bucket-headed clown. This isn't going to make your reluctant but devoted harem any bigger or any wetter. Everyone in your harem secretly wants to fuck the War Machine, Cenk. Deal with it.
So I don't know anyone who belongs in jail more than this guy does.
I got a couple of ideas.
Absolutely, and I hope that he is prosecuted to the fullest extent and faces the harshest consequences for that.
Yeah, he will. The legal system is very efficient indeed at processing that particular half of the criminals.
Isn't it so ironic that the guys who claim to be the toughest guys, men's rights,
Ding, ding, ding. He did not mention men's rights. It's very interesting that you did. You know who else didn't mention men's rights ever? A certain subscriber of yours.
Are the ones that cry the most. Like, oh, men's rights, we're victims, oh, poor man, why do you do this to us?
Okay, Cenk, you've done me. I won't show my emotions anymore. We'll just go back to good old feminism. And feminism is good for men because it helps us show our emotions. I wonder if this will cause Cenk any cognitive dissonance that he is now obliviously displaying to thousands of people.
Women control our lives. We're worse off than the Jews and the blacks. Oh, men's rights, I'm so tough.
I must not be emotional. I must not be a tough guy. I must not be emotional. I must not be a tough guy. I must not be emotional. I must not be a tough guy. I must not be emotional. I must be a tough guy. I must... Schweine mir klein sind.
Dude, gross sack, man. Just be a man.
Yes, Cenk.
Right? And just be calm and live your life and be in control.
You're right, Cenk. There's only one way out. I won't bother listening to the rest of your video because I've heard everything I want to hear and I learned the art of objective investigation from the young fucking Turks. Goodbye, cruel world and everyone in it.